Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Colin Ulrich.
And I'm Mangru, hello.
And folks, we heard your kind praise from last week. We're bringing you some more of the Red Storm 44 mod over here on SD2. So Rang, on Slutsk East, what are these weird incomes and who's fighting it out?
Well, on the left-hand side, in blue, we have ourselves Depau77 playing first Skijaeger with a Juggernaut income. And on the right-hand side, in the red, we have Nigel BR playing the first Polish Infantry Division with a Juggernaut income as well.
So one thing that's kind of important to mention here is that, well, like you said to me, Rang, at one point, phases in this mod are a little bit different. Don't expect these things to be about 10 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 10 minutes. What should the viewers expect? Because you're not going to see it be a nice obvious thing that's saying, we're in phase A, we're in phase B. What should we expect here?
So each division has different phase lengths, but on average, to keep things simple for this cast, usually most divisions, a phase lasts 13 minutes long, and then usually most divisions B phase lasts 17 to 18 minutes long. So don't expect to see any C phase play until 30 minutes to the match.
And forgive me, I know people who are watching my cast right now are seeing me kind of hop around the map a little bit and see like these 75mm RSOs, hideous little things, but at the same time, it's kind of like looking at a tank coming forward with a howitzer on its back. What should we be expecting here?
They're really good because they're bloody cheap at only 35 points. They are very slow. I mean, you pretty much have to treat them like an anti-tank gun as you have no maneuverability with them. But for 35 points, you kill a single T-34, you pay yourself off. It is kind of like, I kind of view them as a bit like Panzerfaust tanks. You kind of throw them in, they get a kill or two, they really don't have much ammunition, but just 1 or 2 kills is more than enough.
Well, it does like the main axis of action is going to be over here in the north. And one thing I was actually checking out myself here is, again, guys, in this mod, there's such beautiful kind of level of detail that happens here. So, like, right now, we see, like, a Strafniki unit. That's the one with the bars on it. If you're looking at my screen, you'll see 12% accuracy, plus 15% rate of fire, but they don't actually get any benefit from Officer's Aura. And at the same time, we actually have a built-in fallback option as well. So I love, again, we're going to say this constantly as we go through each of these replays, but I love how much extra love and affection this thing kind of gives to each other.
Yeah, I've been playing this mod a bit personally, and I've been really enjoying it. There's a lot of cool new details, like Khan is saying, and yeah, and we're going to see some of our first action up north here. We've got some superiors getting close into this forest. Those Skijaeger troops are scary. A lot of them are just equipped with STGs, so they can bring in a lot of firepower, but hey, if you have some satchel charges, that's a pretty good counter, kind of. Those Skijaegers are taking it like an absolute champ.
Yeah, as I say, it's much easier to fight them off when you're not unnumbered, 7-1. Like, these guys are absolutely getting blown to pieces. And yes, this Maxim over here is going to force them to kind of take some cover here, but for the most part, this is still entirely, I would argue, in the first Skijaeger's favor.
Yeah, this is a pretty good engagement for him, as there's really not much here on the hill. He's bringing the Stug 3 to help out here. And yeah, he's just got a lot of infantry up north. Those Skijaeger troops are pretty expensive at 35 points when you compare the Russian troops, only, on average 20 points each for the most part, some 30. So he's not going to be having the quantity advantage, but you definitely get the quality.
Certainly true. Now, one thing that I'm sure you guys noticed as we were going through the opening decks for these two particular players is that we're also seeing a hefty amount of potential air power. Now, I say potential, of course, because in this mod, anti-air AAA is just so freaking effective. I mean, we're talking, a burst of fire has the potential to take down a full-strength aircraft.
Yep.
But man alive.
But yeah, we're pretty much just seeing Depau trying to contest over the northern hill area, while Nigel BR is just going, hey, let's just capture the town. And he has a lot of troops in that town, but he's slowly making his way through. Yeah, that's going to give Depau some time to bring in some armored reinforcements, as well as some IG-18 guns.
Very true, very true. Now, right now we are going to see a Commandant over here to the left-hand side, and guys, again, at least once more for me, crazy benefits from here. Lots of stress resilience, influence is awesome. Influence, of course, referring to that frontline play, as well as 50% of 8, view range and -8 oh my gosh. Yeah, again, it's huge.
But it only benefits infantry units. You have to get a tank commander to benefit tanks, so it's pretty interesting in that regard. But having leaders and having bringing out units with 2-star veterancy makes a pretty big deal in this mod. As we're seeing here, a lot of players are bringing out veterancy on pretty much most of their troops, and that is definitely a good play. Just looking at the rest of the map, the middle and southern side, very quiet. Nigel managing to pretty much secure the southern sector. Really, everything's just happening up north here.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, also with this, the sharpshooters down to about the bottom town. You don't forget it. We're actually gonna have some IG-18s. I think. Yep, they're gonna be engaging.
Stuka up north.
Ooh, you're absolutely right.
Then no anti-air, so he should have a pretty clear shot here.
If he can see his target. The skies are aligning, and it's gonna be close.
Oh. Yeah, it seems like the for that bomber at least, the cluster munition ARE is definitely tighter. It's not as large as it was in the vanilla game, it seems.
Yeah, but you know, it's not a bad thing. I feel like that was one of my biggest gripes, is that cluster bombers, even if you saw them, you had a greater than 50% chance of just going down.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to dodge them at least, which is nice. But to be fair, if you hit them in that target area, it's not like they're going to survive because of how tight that cluster of cluster bombs is.
One thing I also didn't really quite appreciate is that the IG-18s have a much more howitzer kind of arc right here. Again, and I know I'm nitpicking some stuff here, but it's nice to see the German side actually get some quasi-mortars that have some real good
Same
firepower.
Same thing with the Russians, they got the field guns
right.
being able to use as artillery, which is
right.
nice because, you know, you could use these field guns as artillery guns in real life.
Well,
and now we're in the artillery tab to make up for that.
Just to go a little historical on for a second, those are the mountain guns. So those are the guns they would bring in as Alpine troops, so it makes perfect sense, at least from a lore perspective as well.
They would carry it in like so many pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to be the guy to carry that bloody thing around.
No, I mean, usually actually had mules for it, or in some cases, I mean, that was more the Italians. I'm saying it without any kind of sarcasm. No, I mean, dead serious, without any kind of sarcasm. Yeah. But yeah, you're absolutely right. They could break these down, so.
Yeah. Up north, though, his push is going pretty well here for Nigel. He does have the T-70 tanks backing up with a bit of armoured fire support. Skijaeger's taking quite a bit of stress, but those 2-star veterancy units are nasty to take out, and of course they do get the passive bonus for being Jägertruppen, so a little bit of extra, you know, veterancy, like cross-light veterancy bonus to them. But the Stug 3 might be enough to knock out 1 or 2 of these T-70s.
Well, he's already picked up a T-34, and that's really the big kind of danger right there.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing to remember about these polls is that while they definitely have the numbers, they don't generally benefit from the same kind of anti-armor support that so many other Soviet divisions have.
Especially with how Nigel's built up his deck. His only real heavy anti-tank are those Su-85s. He has a B-phase. Apart from that, it's all just T-34 76s. And against Skijaeger, that's not terrible. You're really only fighting Stugs and other T-34s, so you can make do of it. But it's still not, you know, the Stugs do have a slight advantage due to their rather powerful gun.
Well, it's one of those things that whenever you say you can make use of it, that tone of voice that you have in your mind, not exactly what I want to hear as an infantry guy fighting in the first polls.
Yeah, you have to get in close, and in this town fight with cheap T-34s, and T-70s, you can make them work up close. But Depau's doing a pretty good job managing to completely secure that northern hill area. Yeah, well, not completely. There's still one T-34 holding that last flag, and he's going to be dropping a lot of artillery on that sector.
You know, I'm actually kind of surprised. For one, there's a 37 mil up to the north, and a second one being brought on in as well, looking to establish some sort of anti-air net. But I'm wondering if Depau over here at 77 is trying to maybe work and just curve around that town, like screw actually fighting through it, slap down a holding force, and then shift around to the south and maybe cut it off from the rest of the map. I don't know.
Yeah, that could work. From his current position, I think that is a hard position to attack from.
Yeah.
You can move up north through the bridge, but you're pretty exposed crossing that bridge. It might be a bridge too far. Down south,
okay.
Yeah, I know. It pretty much all the angles of attack from that hill involve you having to cross a river and or a bridge. And it was always pretty precarious. But to be fair, once you hold that hill, pretty hard to lose it. As you know, insert high ground joke here.
So actually, the one thing I was saying about down south, yes, there is action to the north, but down south is kind of funny. So we have Niger BR is slowly marshaling his troops together, and you're going to see the, you're going to hear the whistle blast here in just a couple minutes, I'm sure, as we have all this infantry and a couple of tanks being rolled on in as well. But like you said, we got those pack tracks, man. Those things are still scary. Not that many rounds, but they're sufficiently killy that I wouldn't want to go and try to go across open ground with them.
Yeah, they have that 2-kilometer range, and that long range they can definitely knock out a T-34. But I feel like if this push does come to fruition, I mean, Naito might just have enough infantry to barge into the town, but at the same time, Skijaeger and sharpshooters are pretty deadly, especially when you have to cross an open ground.
True. And to the north, it looks like that entire defense is being bogged down and perhaps even just wiped out. One of the anti-air positions is already dead. I imagine another Stuka that gets brought on in to go after might get hit pretty hardcore, but he will not live long enough to celebrate really that victory.
Yeah. Yeah, but now Depu's is doing a decent job holding on to northern sector of the town, trying to keep that one flag under control. The Skijaegers are pretty tough nuts to crack here. And he's bringing a bunch of Skijaegers, I believe, to finish off the rest of the hill. With that one T-34, yeah, might just be enough to charge up and Panzerfaust it.
Well, the unfortunate thing, though, is that there's still another 500, almost a kilometer of just empty territory.
Oh,
so...
yeah. T-34 probably have fun, yeah. Unless you drop some smoke or artillery or a tank. Because that... I mean, Rev Godfish on here probably thinks there's a bit more infantry, where T-34 is, so... Of course, you're gonna get some infantry, but yeah, it's just one tank here holding that entire flag. So that's pretty good for Naito. He could be doing much worse, and he is doing pretty bad. 13-11 not in his favor. I feel like it's gonna come down to a southern push to really try and give him the upper hand.
I'm trying to think right now because we're seeing a huge amount of Stokes being brought on in. I think the last 2 Stokes are being brought to the north, so it's going to be rather unfortunate over here for Depau77. So like down to the south, yeah, there's triple. Is that triple? 1, 2, 3.
Triple T-34s.
Yeah.
Yeah, mortars, the T-70 command. So that's especially with the T-34s he has here as well. That's definitely enough to make a push happen. Even if those RSOs, I think I'd be outgunned against like half a dozen armored units, and the mortars as well. Those mortars can wreak havoc on that rather, thin body armor.
Now, there's one small thing that could work for the RSO favor, and I know it's a minor thing, but check out the accuracy between a T-34 and then the pack track. That pack track is literally twice as likely to hit. Like, that's an absurd level of accuracy by comparison.
I never paid attention to how they changed the accuracy in the anti-tank stuff, because that's pretty nuts. Also, if you guys don't know, the penetration values that they show now are the penetration values at maximum range. So it's much easier to figure out whether something can penetrate, which is quite nice.
So, in this particular case, for example, looking down at the south, 155 millimeters at 2 kilometers of range. I'm not going to say it's absurd. I mean, the Pack 40 was pretty devastating. Ooh, actually, some more infantry. So, oh my gosh. So, actually, they're setting up for their own push. This is so unfortunate. This is, oh my, whoa, never mind. 2 mortars, another T-70, 3 more tanks, 2 more tanks beyond that. We kind of have a mini Kursk down here.
I know, we're gonna have a firefight. We got the Martyrs and, captured T-34s coming in as well. So yeah, Depu definitely sees his armored force being built up here and going to react appropriately. So it should be pretty fun to see us pop off. Probably want to get like another infantry unit or 2, or some counter-strike teams.
Interesting thing as well, though, is we're also seeing another 8 squads being brought into the north from the Polish side of things. And I think the major thing he's hoping for is that the Su-85 is going to clear out some of these enemy tanks.
Yeah. those SU-85s are going to be key in fighting off those thugs. It's still a pretty even fight between them, but two self-infantry definitely helps out. But just looking up north here, there's a lot more armor against that SU-85. He's a lone gunman.
Yeah, but you know what? Mono fights. Ooh, never mind. Badly damaged optics. That's not what you want to be seeing as a tank destroyer.
No. That definitely hinders your ability to destroy tanks, and also blowing up hinders your ability to destroy tanks in a major fashion.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how actually killing something is hard when you're dead.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. That's why I always take Martyrdom in Call of Duty 4.
You know what? Call of Duty is one of those games that I would not be able to tell you with a perk. You know, all I know isn't Martyrdom the I drop a grenade when I'm dead.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
The
never mind.
classic.
The anti-noob thing, which is why I always die to that nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. I want to check this Martyr as well. So, yeah, Martyr's got obscene accuracy by comparison. Yeah, this is going to be absolutely awful to experience.
Oh, I think. Oh, for the accuracy for the RSO, it's a 79% accuracy for the APCR shells. For the regular AP shells, are only 44%. So
Okay.
it's like the same
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
but still, the gun is pretty nasty, of course.
Well, and I guess, I don't know. I know the tissue paper over here is pretty garbage, and I get that. But if I can still hit things and cause a couple crits, that's going to block the attack time real fast.
Yeah, and he's in a defensive position. I mean, he's out in the open, he doesn't have cover per se, but with a tank destroyer, they're going to be sitting still. But yeah, we just have this massive force being built up here, and I think he's going to be, you know, bringing a cherry on top of these two off-map artilleries. Once again, you're going to be seeing more off-map artillery in this mod compared to even the vanilla game, and that's because all the regular field guns, regular, like, long-range artillery pieces, have all been converted off. So it's, yeah.
Well, yeah, that was the thing you and I were talking about as well, is the idea that it was to be so super unlikely to have these guys all in the same place. Like, why would you put such a valuable piece of equipment on the front line? So.
Yeah, I think it was done for realism purposes because, you know, these giant artillery guns wouldn't be, you know, so near the front line. They'd be all the way back somewhere, providing artillery support and an artillery battery. And also, I do like how off-map that made the aiming time, like, bloody long, like 40 to 60 seconds on average. So you have to really make sure at the place you want off-map, you know, the enemy units are going to be in 60 seconds.
Definitely true. Silly question though. Where do you see the off-map in the north? I don't see one.
Oh, I'm down south. Sorry.
Okay, I was
too down south.
White lost for a second.
Get my north to south. Oh, speaking of north here, we got smoke being dropped here, and yeah, Naito doing a big, just you know, just a big push here. He's got reserve troops here. Once again, they do have quite a lot of debuffs to him because they're essentially Earth's trooping. But Depau, he has a good defensive line. He has a lot of Skijaegers. You know, he is taking quite a bit of heavy artillery, and it's just a really cool push card. I really love how it looks.
The unfortunate thing is, I think he waited so long because he wanted to push from the south, but he keeps pushing stuff together on the south. I'm wondering if this push to the north is to try to draw forces away.
Maybe. It's cheap.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that... Let's see, how much are these guys? These guys were what, 30 points? 17?
Oh, the reserves are
no, you're right.
Points, yeah.
Jeez, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, which is not bad, because they do get that free PTRD rifle. Well, I guess it's not free, but...
No, you get exactly what you pay for.
Buy 10 Mosins, get one free.
You're getting exactly what you pay for on this, which is you're getting airsats, you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, just for the amount of firepower up north here from Skijaeger is going to be enough to shut that down. Yeah, without any armoured support there, all that infantry is pretty much buggered. So it's pretty much just going to hinge on this southern push, it seems, and we are seeing the off-map being dropped. Smoke and fire. So here we go. The ritual's been blown, and we're going to have Kursk Khan. We're going to have Kursk.
Let's see, what's that? 9 fighting vehicles? 8 fighting vehicles? Leaving the RS on the back. Yeah, this front line's going to get shredded pretty hardcore. But the second they get within the 2 kilometers, this is going to get turned bloody real fast.
The one thing I'm really loving about this mod is we're seeing these like combined arms pushes con. You actually have time to set up, you know, a decent amount of infantry and armored support. We got artillery barrage and array. Like this is goddamn World War II tactics right here, guys. And we got you know, anti-tank guns on the hills, air power coming in. Oh no, I think our Junkers are gonna make short work of our push.
Yeah, I mean the Yaks are still here, but there's a Flak 36 that should be able to shepherd them away. Oh my gosh!
Killed 2 tanks, Jan.
2? I counted 3, I thought.
Really? Oh, there we go. Another one. Yeah, heavy bombs, guys. They do lots of damage. Who would have thunk?
One Junker's probably gonna go down. No! 2 of them limp away. And the mortar positions are gone as well. I don't care if you have another off-map barrage happening here. That thing is gone.
Holy crap, those Junkers are insane. The Yak gets a good strafing hit, but not enough to get the kill here. I think the anti-air's just gonna keep it clutch.
And while we weren't watching over there, yes, we were able to see that T-34 get barraged off of that hillside. The Begleet Skijaegers, the Skijaegers getting crushed, though, by T-34-76 and T-70, just pushing them back. But wherever something red is, well, we're not just talking about with the Soviets, we're talking about there's just blood saturating the ground.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing more artillery being dropped in down south, but yeah, I don't think that push is going to be able to recover in time to really take advantage of that.
Well, think about what
Depau just...
I'm sorry, please.
No, Depau just had a good defensive line.
I was going to say, look about what he just lost here. Yeah, he lost a little bit, but he lost... You know, like a squad of infantry, a boy to 334. Big stinking deal.
Yeah, those are acceptable, that's for sure.
IL-2 cluster to the north. He's not going to be aiming for anything really that important, though.
Yeah. Yeah, Southern Push definitely, as cool as it was to see it all clumped together, probably would have been safer if he separated a little bit more and maybe had a little bit more smoke. But really, it was due to the air power just completely screwing him over, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the weird thing when smoking actually would have saved some lives.
Yeah. I mean, it was 1940s after all, man.
True.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, you get some more sharpshoots being brought on in. So really, really, really great defense there. And that was the air power that we talked about has a potential to just cause so much havoc.
Yeah. Yeah. Skijaeger's a very... I've been playing Skijaeger a bit in this mod, and from my personal experience, you have a very good defensive division. With all the anti-tank pieces that you get, which have high veterancy and all bloody Pak 40s. The infantry of the STGs are insane. I mean, they're not as fast compared to other like mechanized divisions or tank divisions, but as we're seeing here, when you have a good defensive line set up with Skijaeger troops, it can be a very tough nut to crack.
Well, that was the thing. They've always been a bite and hold division. Like, this is not a division that's like, oh yes, we're going to have some rolling artillery barrage and charge on forwards. Even in vanilla, that wasn't going to happen. So, I don't know. I feel like they have actually found some true expression over here.
Yeah. I feel like Nigel's getting a bit screwed over due to his lack of heavier anti-tank. You can't... I know you think you can get some, like, Zis guns.
Like
Zis freeze, at least. That's what you really need. But... the T-34-76s can only really get you so far in these open ground engagements, especially down southeast. This is going to get outgunned by all the Pak 4 and other T-34s as well. So, I want to see him be able to do something up north, but I feel like at this point Depau has such... he's managed to trade very efficiently, and as we can just see on the mini-map, it's much more blue up north and just all over the map compared to red. And that blue stuff is pretty highly vetted as well.
Well, the one thing I was kind of trying to figure out myself is why isn't it that the first Poles didn't try to make some thrust down the center? Yes. I know there's a town, but like, you put your stuff in that town, it's more or less shielded on the north. Not gonna hit it from the flank in terms of force cover. You can't even see it from the position right now where that shooter killed Stug is. Blow through to the west. Yeah, he's got some light anti-tank, some small infantry. It's only now, 25 minutes in, that he's able to bring in some Skijaegers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at that point, just play Austerlitz over here. You have, turn to the north if you want to, turn to the south if you want to. But right now we have T-34s to the north getting shot out and shot to pieces. And there's not a whole lot they can do about it.
It's just a pretty good position here. It does have an S-35 to try and counter it, but once again, there's just a lot of armor all over from Depau's side here. Depau, I think it's Depau, I've been saying it wrong, as usual.
I'm sure he won't come out and kill you too often. That's okay.
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 That's a few, just as long as no one comes out and kills me for saying things incorrectly, I'll continue saying things incorrectly.
Well, it's be one of those things. It's like the SD2 version of The Ring. 1 week after you cast the replay, suddenly you just die. Now, one thing I think
such Troopin just crawls out of your computer monitor.
Yeah, but dude, at that point, it's like Indian in the cupboard, where it's like, oh, that's cute, flick. Now, one thing I'm actually kind of very, very lucky over here for Nigel is that the air power for Depau has not been omnipresent.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, it was Junkers came in.
Yes.
But that was really it. But to be fair as well in the mod, air power is strong like that, but I believe the reload time and repair time is longer compared to vanilla. So, you have to make your bangs count for your bugs.
True. Well, we see another Yak being brought on in. Yeah, he's like aim for a couple of points at T-34s, and that sucks and all that. Like, I feel bad for him. But if that's what you got to do, you got to trade out a single tank or something like that for a rocket airplane. Yeah, come on. I would take that every day of the week and twice on Saturday.
Yeah, and he has a lot of infantry to to back up here. Nitro really does not have much either. He still has he has a lot of B-phase cards to work with, but it's just not really working out for him. He just hasn't managed to... I mean, he has managed to amass big forces, but he loses them and he lost them in one big play, and that pretty much goes his front line.
Yep. Now looking at the center over here, I'm seeing some blue being moved here. Ooh, we got a tank platoon being brought on forwards. I'm wondering, is this going to be the counter thrust? Yep, counter thrust being set up. We got 4 Skijaegers and a 5th over here kind of chilling, and we have 4 Boyta T-34s. They're going to cut through this marshland. They're going to take out the central position. Look to see this flag over here with the machine gun and PTRS. Yeah, this is going to drop within the next 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. I also like how some of the PTRS squads have 3 PTRSs in a single squad. Actually makes them really good, because you can get a lot of stun and hits by just having a bunch of dudes shooting semi-automatic anti-tank rifles at anything, really.
True. Now, one thing, this is just a random aside, they don't figure the slant, sloped armor as opposed to, let's say, straight armor, do they, in their penetration values? So memory serves 30 millimeters was the expected penetration for things like the PTRS, PTRD.
Yeah. I think for the tanks they just value it as including the slope. I don't think this game does any extra calculations for the armor. It's just front, side, back, and they just make up the numbers depending on an average of the armor and the slope and the angle roughly.
Okay, fair enough.
Because historically, you'd want to try to shoot the flat part of the tank, or also weak points of the tank with an anti-tank rifle. Up north here, we got IL-2 coming in.
And the God tank.
T-34.
And the God tank killer doesn't actually do anything. That's...
Yeah. Getting stressed out pretty hard, and once again, I can confirm IL-2s are still pretty tanky in this mod, but just watch Caster's Curse happen and this thing gets shot down. No, okay. Phew.
Yeah,
I don't have to eat my own hat.
Okay. It's cold outside,
I'm running
man.
out of hats,
Well, I think you just try grilling it. It'll actually make it a super light meal. Of course, most of it will fall apart by the fire there, but...
I usually just deep fry it.
That's such a Canadian thing. Down here, we just slather it in lard. That's how it works in the States. 37 mil at the same time in the north is getting just absolutely trounced by the IG-18s. And between that, the pair of the IG-18s and these two Stugs, yeah, these two Stugs have been asserting themselves hardcore. There's 3 tanks and or tank destroyers that desperately want to get to the front. They're just not able to do it.
Yeah.
And watching, forgive me, but the punch over here is happening in the center. Yeah, oh my god. The machine gun has to displace. He's getting pounded by, it looked like 7 or 8 different sources. Yeah, the RSOs are getting in on the action. The T-34s are going crazy. The Skijaegers are engaging. This is just, yeah. This is
it's a good push.
It
This
is.
you know, flanking with the infantry and the tanks are, you know, providing fire.
I think we're going to see a Soviet bombing run here. Yep, IL-2's coming back in 2 of them, so T-34s might go down, just a couple of them. That's one. The BF-109, stunned crew, so second one might go down?
There we go, good use, yeah, of air power. And we've got the Akron Bees coming in to try and save the IL-2 brethren here.
But you know what? They accomplished what they needed to, which was get my infantry close enough. Yeah, you lost a BF-109. But allows... Exactly. It's 15-9 now, and who cares? I'm going to lose another 109? Enjoy.
Yeah.
Fine by me.
Again, that position is huge, because it's a pretty defensible position. It's a lot of town area to control, and he still has like 2 T-34s in that central push, so it's not terrible.
And for that matter, too, I mean, it's also... There's no optics there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So this 45 mil would have been great if you moved up another 150, 200 meters. He could have gotten some nice little flank shots over here. Yeah, because they haven't changed the range on him yet.
Mm-hmm.
So Depau over here is just... I'm not going to say putting on a clinic, but I think that his counter punches have been extremely effective.
Yeah, he's just managed to trade very well throughout this match in a pretty defensive manner, and as we're seeing now later on, he's been pushing pretty hard, and it seems like he's pretty much going to get the victory. So do you want to take us to ×2, Mr. Khan?
Sure, at 32.25.
Yep.
And ×2. Su-85 going down to the north. Yep, and at this point, these two Stugs, Steinecke and Berg. Yeah, you can see right now they're getting an entire artillery barrage on top of them.
Dedicated solely for him.
So even if they go down or not, I mean, geez, those guys by themselves have shut down that northern arterial.
Yeah. Now, once again, the lack of good long-range anti-tank here for NATO's really screwed him over in these sorts of fights. You see he's actually dropping smoke in those thugs to actually deny him from doing any more damage, which is definitely the right call. Let's see how much damage this off-map does.
Some stress, and yes, a rocket plane comes on in, but, you know, not too shabby.
Oh, kills, there we go. I think an artillery killed one.
Yeah, but look how much and how long it took.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, congratulations over here to Depau77. Really, really solid play. IL-2s are back on the map. Look at them prowling around. Might get one final kill before the game ends. No, it doesn't.
Nope. And here we go. Holy crap, the KD.
Jeez.
Holy moly. That did not go well for Nigel. I know it seemed bad for him, but I didn't realize it was that bad for him.
Well, here we go, Steinecke over here. Look how many kills that guy's got by himself. And then Jenny, look who can I turn to? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 kills for him. Berg's got another 4 kills. Probst has like 6 kills. The Junkers. This Junkers is the one that hit the south. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 kills.
Who needs anti-tank planes or guns, Khan, when you have Junkers?
Well, and that's really what it is, isn't it? Is that you have... Yeah, that's exactly when he did it. So that entire southern push got crushed by one Junkers dropping basically 250 kilo bombs.
Yeah.
But hey.
Yeah, holy crap. I'm trying to think what Nigel could have done better, because that was not good in terms of his kills. Like,
Make
he had,
sure.
like, good pushes going on, but Skijaeger just had a very good position and very good infantry as well to help hold out.
Yeah, but at the same time, you gotta go and keep bringing in some anti-air net on the bottom.
Yeah.
Which was not done. And that I think that probably was the only thing I'd be nitpicking, because unfortunately he lost like, what, 300 or 400 points to a single bomber, and that killed him.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? I can't pretend I would have done any better, so really well fought both ways. But just Depau was able to mass effectively, and yeah. He pulled out some crazy BS there. Really well done. Folks, we're going to come back over here on Thursday with another one of these Red Storm 44 mod replays. If you like what you see, of course, just let us know. And I guess until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.